Audio test, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Facilitator mic check. Audio test, 1, 2, 3. Podium mic check, 1, 2, 3. Good morning to our attendees who are joining us here in the board's hearing room. Good morning, city staff, executives, members of the public. Welcome. Good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. I do see a couple of hands raised. I'm going to go through and ask if you would please identify yourself and what item you would like to speak on. I will record your information for the record, and then I'll call upon you when we reach your item. I'm going to go ahead and start with Children's Voices Matter. Good morning. I see your hand is raised.
Good morning. Yes, public comment.
Thank you. I have you down for public comment. I will make an announcement at this time that items 3 through 8 will be continued to next Monday. And thank you, Children's Voices Matter. I have you down for public comment. I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand. And moving on to Audit LA, good morning.
Good morning, TJ. I would like public comment and all items.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have you down for public comment on all items. I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand and put you back.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there are any other members of the public who have just joined us and you'd like to offer public comment, please raise your hand. Identify yourself for the record and which item you'd like to speak on. Good morning, Yvonne.
Good morning. General comment only. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. I have you down for public comment. I am going to go ahead and lower your hand, put you back on mute. It is 9:43, and we have about 16 or 17 minutes before the board meeting begins. I'll make another call out in approximately 12 minutes to see if anyone has joined who wishes to offer public comment. Thank you. Good morning once again to our attendees who are joining us here in the board hearing room. Good morning, Bureau staff, executives, members of the public. If there's any member of the public who wishes to offer public commentary or commentary on any of our agendized items this morning, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room. Indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and hand it to me. I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we reach your item. Good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. If you've not already done so, I'm asking you to please raise your hand, identify yourself for the record, and which item you'd like to speak on. I'll record your information, and then I'll call upon you when we reach your item. Laura FM, good morning.
Good morning, TJ. Yes, please, general public comment and on the minutes.
Thank you. I have you down for public comment and commentary on the minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. If there are any other members of the public who wish to offer public comment or agenda item commentary, please raise your hand at this time. I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we reach your item. I currently have Children's Voices Matter, Audit LA, Yvonne, and Laura FM who have indicated they wish to offer commentary. It is 9:55. We should get started with the board meeting in approximately 5 minutes. Thank you. President King, we are now in record mode and ready to begin.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Monday, November 17th, 2025. Mr. Knight, please take roll and establish quorum.
Good morning, President King, Vice President Chavez, and Commissioner Mitchell are present. We do have a quorum. We're joined by City Attorney Representative Thomas Costello Vega. I'm TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works. This morning, we have one public commenter here joining us present in the hearing room. We have 4 public commenters on the virtual platform, and we have 1 multiple agenda item commenter on the virtual platform and 1 single item commenter on the virtual platform. We have no neighborhood council commentary this morning.
Thank you very much. Before we begin with public comment, just wanted to announce that items 3 through 8, which are HLA related, will be continued to Monday, November 24th, 2005. So items number 3 through 8 will be heard next Monday, on Monday, November 24th, 2025. So with that, we will get started with general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items and will be provided up to 1 minute per person, up to a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to subject matters which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. The board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. We do have 1 in-person speaker. We'll get started with Joe Linton.
Hello, my name is Joe Linton. I'm the appellant on the HLA appeals. I'm frustrated to see these on the agenda and even to be discussed at this meeting because I think that the law requires a 10-day notice and I received only a 4-day notice. So I don't think you can discuss these or continue them or take any action on them. I think they should be withdrawn and but you know your parliamentary procedures better than I do, but these are not agenda items legally because the city didn't follow the city's HLA ordinance for notification. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, let's transition to our virtual platform.
Thank you, President King, and we'll go ahead and start with Children's Voices Matter. Please unmute, and you'll have 60 seconds to offer your public comment.
Hello, greetings, everyone. I just wanted to address the L. Ron Hubbard way and cover a quote by L. Ron Hubbard from WikiQuote. The only way you can control people is to lie to them. You can write that down in your book in great big letters. The only way you can control anybody is to lie to them. That's from lecture Off the Time Track, June 1952, as quoted in Journal of Scientology, issue 18G. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate all the help that you give. Have a good day.
And we'll move next to Audit LA.
Good morning. Very interesting, the first speaker. See, he pointed out that you guys did not follow procedure correctly. And before the meeting even started, I guess you caught that and you removed those items from this meeting. You adjusted because you realized your error. And Scientology doesn't do that. How long have we been coming here to let you know they have not abided by not even one of their permits? And with their structural permits, which require a permit and inspection, they haven't had that done since 2022 from what the records show. But they still build these big towers and gigantic tents. And guess what? They've still given permits. Like you're not adjusting their bad behaviors. I mean, and I'm sure your stuff was just oversight. Theirs is deliberate because they just don't care. They snub their nose. They do what they want to do.
Thank you. That's 60 seconds, and we'll move next to Yvonne.
Remodeling on 1404 Catalina Street still seems to be going on as the refuge container still exists in the horseshoe parking driveway. The tents and the violations or lack of permit from building safety. I sent a letter to them and their response was, We do not have the time or manpower to do that. That is not an acceptable answer. The answer is fix the problem. You need to get the manpower, you need to find the funding, you need to assess the fees and penalties for when these things don't exist or don't issue permits. The permit for the events for the IAS were longer
Thank you.
than.
That's 60 seconds, and we'll move next to Laura FM.
Hi, good morning. Yes, I'm going to go along again with what Audit LA and YRB just said, Yvonne. This is super important, you guys. It's getting really frustrating for children of Scientology, the ex-children, okay? And then you have advocates like the people calling in who have been born and raised in this, and we're telling you there are serious problems with your permits, of you giving Scientology permits. And at this point, it seems like I'm just getting fucking furious now, because we've been nice. We've done everything we're supposed to do. We come into the city, we do these meetings. When are you guys going to say, guess what, guys, we're bringing this up on the board. We're bringing up the permit to revoke it. Why is it going to get so, are you going to allow this to happen where I'm screaming in the city hall at your meetings? President Kang, I'm getting sick of this. This has to change. I'm so sick of nothing being done. This happens I spend my weekends going to protests and document. It's not okay that you don't have investigators. That's not fucking.
Thank you, Laura FM. That's 60 seconds. President King, there are 3 additional hands raised on the virtual platform. If you'd like, I can ask if they would like
Yes,
to
please.
public comment. And we'll start with Georgina McPhee. Would you like to offer public commentary this morning?
Yes, please, and multiple agenda items.
Go ahead with public comment.
Thank you. I'm calling to discuss the street permit for Charles Manson Way. Oh, wait, it's not that cult leader. It's the other, more destructive cult leader, L. Ron Hubbard Way. He was far more destructive and dangerous than Charles Manson because he's gone on for decades of family destroying, child trafficking, child abusing, human rights violating. He's been federally convicted of infiltrating our government, and yet we continue to let them have a street permit. It needs to be addressed. I yield back my time.
Miriam, would you like to offer public commentary this morning?
Yes, please.
Go ahead. You have 60 seconds.
Yeah, I also want to echo on the previous speakers what they were talking about. I understand that you have limited jurisdiction when it comes to, for example, human trafficking and so forth, and you are not able to end that. However, Scientology breaks the rules everywhere they can. And that's why we're coming to you every week, several times a week, to call and report on the permit violations, on their slave labor working on public streets, because we know that that's actually your area of responsibility, and that's something that you can take action on, because we need to show that the city of LA rejects Scientology and they are not able to continue the way they have been doing the past 70 years. I yield back my time.
And I see Gigi, you have your hand up. Would you like to offer public commentary this morning?
Yes, just general.
Go ahead.
Okay, so over the weekend, I was very shocked to see that they actually had a ramp at Scientology. They are not ADA compliant any other day, but for some reason they had a ramp sticking halfway into the public street. I'm wondering, was there a permit for this? It was on the actual L. Ron Hubbard Street on the bricks, and it was just sticking out there. They had like some barricade or something in front of it, but I'm wondering, did they get a permit for this? Did they all of a sudden decide to be ADA compliant and have a ramp for their people? I don't know. But also those towers that they have on L. Ron Hubbard, those are like 20, 25 feet. Have they been inspected? They do not look safe. Scientology does not have, people that know what they're doing put these up. They have people making $47 a week constructing these towers. They need to be inspected. Please check on this. Thank you.
President King, that concludes public commentary this morning.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close the general public comment portion of today's meeting. And before moving on to multiple, I wanted to request our City Attorney Representative Thomas Costello Vega to give us a little bit of clarity on what the HLA continuation means.
Thank you, President King. So just to clarify for everyone in attendance, items 3 through 8 were continued at the beginning of this meeting until next Monday. And so what that means is that the board will not be discussing or taking any action on those items at today's meeting.
Thank you very much for that clarification. Moving on to our multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment period for up to a minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per person per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item, and please identify the items that you'll speak on when you are called. We do not have any in-person multiple commenters, so we will transition to a virtual platform.
Thank you, President King. We're going to go ahead and get started with Audit LA, followed by Georgina. Audit LA, please identify which item you're speaking on. Go ahead.
Good morning. I'm going to start with number 9, but there's 2 things I want to discuss about it. The first part is, it's about storm water and clean water, right? So I want to remind you, because it was before you guys were on the board, that Scientology dumped about 100,000 gallons of water on the property to get rid of protesters. It completely it made their soil wet for many months, and I know I got stuck in it. It completely destroyed the sidewalk. It completely buckled from it, and that's why we've been complaining about that. And then there were planters filled with all kinds of debris, looked like construction debris. We don't know what that is. So I am concerned about that. And I know there's the O bond or whatever, which I would like to see them open up an investigation into that, because that is going to go possibly, if it was that much damage from that water, from stormwater, then I am concerned about what that has gotten into the table, into the water table, into the sewers. And especially since, because they were suspected, I don't know what the outcome was, I don't know that yet, but there was underground, possible unpermitted work on tunnels. So again, that could be the debris. We don't know what's going on there because they will not abide by the rules. The other part of this same item is that I want to suggest with this and anything where you're doing personal contracts for, it might be the other one, I don't know, the one where you're trying to get for them to do on the different gardens or whatever. They have different, instead of hiring high-level contractors sometimes, I know they have contractors where, I've seen it, where they have people who are developmentally disabled or economically disadvantaged, trying to, teach them skills and whatever, and they're fully supervised, and they actually do amazing work. I've seen it in building maintenance and stuff, cleaning, they're cleaning the halls and everything, and they do amazing work. They take such pride in their work. And I would like to see those kind of bids and things happen more, so we can, and also people coming sometimes, out of jail or something where they are trying to get a second chance, Homeboy Network and, and stuff like that. So I would like, and they're also disabled, whatever. But so I would like to see a variety of different kinds of contracts. Number 1, giving away a street. I am going to constantly say I have I feel anxiety when I hear about any kind of street or any kind of vacations. I guess I know they're necessary in some times, but I don't want this. It seems like the city is doing it way too often, and they seem so easily. It's just oh, yes, yes, yes. And my concern is, because we all know Scientology
Thank you.
wants one.
That's 3 minutes. And we'll move next to Georgina.
Unmuted me, TJ.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. I actually just want to speak on minutes, so I realize that only gives me a minute.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I am calling because you still aren't utilizing Granicus the way it's intended to be used. In Sacramento and in most cities around the United States, the public comments are linked in the minutes. I understand you don't want to make a summation of what people say. You don't want to accidentally misinterpret something, but you could have a link provided easily that people can click on the link and go and check out what was being said. Granicus allows you to do this. This is what Sacramento uses, and it's something you have available to you already. You need to task your tech department sufficiently and have this addressed. Thank you. I yield back my time.
I do see an additional hand raised. Gigi, would you like to offer multiple agenda item commentary this morning?
Yes, I'd like to speak on 1 and the minutes.
You have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. So about 1, the street vacation. Let's just call it what it is. That's what I'll call it. We want to make sure that if you guys are approached with a street vacation request for L. Ron Hubbard Way, that you're not going to just pass it through. You know, just ask for a vote immediately, say yes, and rubber stamp, whatever. Like, you need to actually think about what the public has been telling you about that. This one, I'm pretty sure when number 1 comes, you're going to just all agree to it. There's not going to be questions about it, and it's going to just pass through. Well, I'm hoping that you guys ask more questions when it happens, when Scientology comes to you about L. Ron Hubbard Way, because that belongs to Los Angeles. That does not belong to Scientology. On the minutes, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but your minutes suck. Your minutes suck because they don't have anything about public comment except that public comment has been received. You've heard several people tell you several times, week after week, day after day, that this is it's not acceptable. So please do something about your minutes, do something about the public comment portion of the minutes, and include what people are talking about in the public comments. Thank you. I yield my time.
And we do have 1 single item commenter on the minutes. If you like, President King, we can take that commenter at this point. Laura FM. Go ahead.
Okay, so here I am again about the minutes and about making it known that we want L. Ron Hubbard's permit revoked. The revocable permit needs to be taken away. They're not upholding anything, and this is going to get more and more serious. It's like, you're triggering child PTSD, cult PTSD every single time you guys give these permits. It's not shown on the minutes, nothing. You're making us feel like, oh, we're doing the right thing. Oh, we're getting our little pat on the shoulder. Good job. And nothing is being done. You have people maybe going by there. There's people in the city that go by blue buildings of Scientology and see the corruption. Nothing is being done. Who on the board here is stopping it? And if it's nobody stopping it, why, President Kang, are you not doing it? Why couldn't you say, if you had a daughter or your daughter was here doing this, I feel there would be a much bigger change. So please, before this gets way louder than it needs to be, please do something.
Thank you. That's 60 seconds on the minute. And that, President King, that concludes multiple and single item agenda commentary this morning.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close the multiple item public comment portion of today's meeting and move forward with the approval of minutes for Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Seeing no discussion, I'll move to approve of the minutes. Is there a second? Seconded by Vice President Chavez.
Thank you, President Kang. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of minutes, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. Aye. All ayes, and this item is approved unanimous.
Thank you. Moving forward with our agenda item number 1 from the Bureau of Engineering for Council District 12, relinquishment of rights in future alley and portion of Lot 1, Track 22888, North Woodley Avenue.
Good morning. My name is Thane Crocker. I'm a senior civil engineer with the Permit Case Management Division. And I'm here to present a relinquishment of rights in future alley located at 10802, 10806 North Woodley Avenue. The future alley was created by track number 22888 recorded on March 1st, 1957. In 1957, when the track was created, there was the potential for an alley to be built in that area. Over the years, land use pattern has changed. This area has remained as a future alley easement and has never been improved as an alley. It has also changed the ownership from the original developer. 25 years has passed, it was recorded, and the city has never accepted as a public alley and has never been improved as an alley. City can no longer accept it as a public alley. Therefore, it does meet the relinquishment criteria, and Bureau of Engineering is recommending to approve this relinquishment. And we are not aware of any controversy directly relating to this request. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? And I know that Council District 12 is in support of this.
Yes.
All right. Seeing no other discussions, I'll move to approve item number 1. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you, President Kang. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 1, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 1 is adopted, subject to conditions forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item number 2 in Council District 4, change order numbers 12 and 13.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Yeah, my name is Stephen Chow. I'm from the Bureau of Engineering, a senior construction engineer. Today, I'm here for the board report for the city engineer to issue a unilateral change order number 12 to Malatim Bondage Construction for a not to exceed amount of $453,189.76 to construct type C soil for the NOS rehabilitation unit number 30. And the second one is for the city engineer to issue a deductive change order number 13 for the amount of $157,988.25. With that, a little bit about background. On the November 4th, 2022, the board awarded a contract to a Malatim Bondage Construction Company in the amount of $14,261,142 with a contingency amount of $713,057 with a total approved budget of $14,974,199. The project included cleaning and rehabilitation of the approximately 4,802 linear foot and 2,592 linear foot of the 8 inches VCP pipe for the local sewers, and constructing 16 new maintenance wells and rehabilitating 2 existing maintenance wells. And the project alignment is located on Woodbridge Street from Colfax Avenue to Whitsett Avenue, as shown on figure number 1 below. For the change order number 12 is to compensate the contractor for the constructing new local sewer lines and associated laterals in the type C soil due to defining size conditions. The project provided for the construction of the 7 8 inches local sewer lines to be installed adjacent to the existing North Alford sewer line. The installation of the local lines resulted in the existing lateral connections to be removed from the existing primary sewer line and reconnected to the new local lines. To execute this scope of work, the contractor has to excavate and show about 12 feet to 20 feet depths. The contract documents inform bidders to assume type B soil conditions for all excavations. However, during construction, the contractor encountered type C soils. The difference between type B and type C soils is type B soil is more stable and type C soils is a little bit unstable, and then that would require the contractor to use a more bigger equipment, modify their shorings, backfill, and restoration works. The project was completed and the statement of completion was received on April 23, 2025. After construction was completed, the contractor submitted a total cost claim of $1,002,541.26 for the defining size conditions. The Bureau of Engineering and Bureau of Contract Administration reviewed the claim and through various negotiations, determined an undisputed amount of $453,189.76 based upon the available information. The claim negotiations are still ongoing. Any further agreement will be included in the final closeout change order for this project. The total amount for change order number 12 is $453,189.76, which will be issued as a unilateral change order since the BOE, CARNET, and the contractor have not finalized the final settlement. The second change order for change order number 13 is to adjust the final quantities for bid item number 18 and bid item number 19. The final adjustment amount is the credit deduction of $157,988.25. The PRC approved these two change orders at its October 8, 2025 meeting. There's no impact to the general fund and no additional funding is required for these two change orders. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Vice President Chavez.
Yes, when do you expect the final settlement to happen with the contract, with the closeout?
At this point, the contractor is reviewing the additional documentations they received from the Bureau of Contract Administration through the Public Act request, and then we are expecting the contractor to resubmit back to us, and then we will review together. BOE and Bureau of Contract Administration will review together. I'm thinking maybe the next 2 to 3 weeks. Next 1 to 2 months.
1 to 2 months from now.
1 to 2 months to resolve this claim. Yeah, it depends. I would say it depends on the one that they submit documentation. So if it's the documentation is complete, then we should be able to settle. But if there's additional information required, then it may prolong a little bit long. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
And then can you remind us the construction timeline for this?
Yeah, the construction timeline, it started in actually November 4th. That's the board awarded. And then the construction was completed in April 23 of 2025 this year.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioners, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll move to approve item number 2. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Seconded by Vice President Chavez.
Thank you, President Kang. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 2, starting with you, President Kang,
Aye.
Vice President Chavez,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. Aye. All ayes, and item 2 is adopted, and we'll move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As noted earlier, items 3 through 8 have been continued for until next Monday. Moving on to item number 9, for all council district personal services contract, LA Sanitation's clean water and environmental programs.
Good morning, President Kang. Morning, Vice President Chavez, Commissioner Mitchell, Executive Officer and City Attorney, and LA San virtual representative. My name is Todd Cromwell. I'm over the maintenance section at Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant. I'm here this morning for a proposed contract, LA San wide landscaping and site services contract. This is a community level contract, a CLC contract, which was a joint initiative between the Bureau of Contract Administration and former Commissioner Mike Davis. This morning, I'm seeking authorization to execute a contract, an LA San landscape and site services contract with MIG Company, which is Moore, Icofono, Goldsman, Inc., The Pond Company, Inc., Yunsu Kim Design, Inc., and Far East Landscape and Maintenance, Inc. I'm also seeking authorization to simultaneously reopen the request for qualifications. Contracts will be funded by the Sewer Maintenance and Operation Fund number 760, Solid Resource Revenue Fund number 508, and the Stormwater Pollution Abatement Fund number 511. Any other funds and appropriations to be determined by the Director and General Manager of LA San. To give some background on this, LA San owns and operates 4 water reclamation plants and more than 40 clean water conveyance facilities, several solids resources facilities, as well as various other facilities under the Watershed Protection Program. These facilities periodically require landscaping and site services such as tree trimming, maintenance of water features and irrigation systems, renovation projects utilizing native and drought-tolerant plants, site hardscape, landscape repair, and other types of landscape and site services, including architectural design. Existing staff cannot adequately perform the required landscaping and site services work at all the facilities owned by LA San due to the broad scope of work and specialized skills, licenses, and certifications required to perform the work. As a result, LA San is proposing to utilize the services of on-call contractors to meet these specialized needs where long-term staffing is not feasible and existing staffing is not available or able to perform these required tasks. On-call list. In keeping with the CLC goal, community level contracting, LA San's plan was to create 2 on-call lists of up to 10 contractors each. One on-call list would be for individual projects over $50,000. The other would be for individual projects up to $50,000. This would allow the lesser established firms the opportunity to enter the contracting environment and bid on projects within their means and scope. Unfortunately, LA San received only 7 statements of qualifications out of the 37 total contractors that attended the mandatory pre-proposal meeting on July 1st, 2021. 3 of those 7 contractors were later recommended as non-responsive following the evaluation process. With only 4 contractors remaining, a true on-call list could not be established. Today, I would like to request that we finalize the contracts with the 4 remaining contractors. I would also like to request that we simultaneously reopen the request for qualifications with the goal of creating a true on-call list as we originally intended. The reopening of the RFQ would only be open to the remaining 33 contractors who attended the 2021 mandatory pre-proposal meeting, but either did not submit their statement of qualifications or were later recommended as non-responsive as mentioned previously. And before I conclude, going back to your question, your former question, Vice President Chavez, you're wondering how many divisions were involved, were interested in doing this contract. We have 5 different divisions. And with that, that concludes my presentation. I'm open to any questions you might have.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Vice President Chavez.
Thank you for this presentation. Learning a little bit more about the community level contracting program. I feel like there's a lot of lessons that to be learned here. I mean, I think it's great that we're have this program and we're making efforts, but I think that we have a long way to go. The fact that only a small number of firms even went forward with applying, that's the one concerning thing. I'm curious, did we receive any feedback from the 30 firms that didn't bid that led us to want to open it back up again? You know, did you collect information from them, or are they all in business? And you just kind of preliminary questions like that. And just kind of would like to understand a little bit more of you know, what we can do better in the future to better encourage and get more participation. Because right now the goal is participation and we got very low participation. So if you could speak to that.
Okay, couple of things. Historically, it's been very difficult. Oh, shoot. Okay, so historically, it's been very difficult, for whatever reason, unknown, to be able to get interested parties into a contract. And I'm citing the other former with the Japanese Garden, for example. When they ran their contract, they had one contractor participate. And this was pre-COVID, so it had nothing to do with COVID. It's 2019. The only thing I can say about this, the community level contracting, is that when we do the evaluation process, there's a number of things that we follow. If certain applications aren't up to par, then that person's recommended as non-responsive. So I think maybe there could be given some latitude on that. That would be the only thing. But again, we had 7 people who submitted their qualifications, and 3 of them were non-responsive by a far stretch. The other thing is we had, for example, also on our qualifications for a contractor to submit their qualifications. We had architectural firms, for example, 2 very interested parties, okay, and just starting out. But unfortunately, they did not meet the requirement of the 3 years minimum business experience. And I looked into that at that time to try to really get that, but it would not fly. These 2 contractors were so interested that they actually, because they could not go on as contractors, they went on as subcontractors with the larger company, Moore MIG, that I mentioned previously, which is a very large company. Very impressed by them. 250 employees when they first submitted. So they're a very big firm. Obviously, they will be part of the large contract. Other than that, it's really, I think, now some of them did not, they attended the pre-proposal meeting, but they were offering services that were outside of what the boundaries of the contract were or are. So those are some of the reasons that I can think of, but a lot of it, if we were to do it, would be a lot of hand holding. And, you know, as far as non-responsive, their submissions missed so many items, it's almost like we would have to do the application for them. And that's quite a bit for us to be able to do. But that's the only thing I can think of on that.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you have some feedback, but I think it's important to have, you know, really due diligent get survey information, get data, because we had 37 people or 37 companies participate in the pre-proposal conference and only 7 submitted. I mean, that to me is a red flag, because there was initial interest, but then for whatever reason, and maybe you have some anecdotal information, but it would be great to have a breakdown of what the exact reasons were. What are the barriers to entry? I know that the city, you know, even if we have a good intent to break up the packages so that they're smaller, we still have very high barriers for companies to actually apply. As you mentioned, you gave an example, but there's other things like bonding requirements, insurance requirements. If we're not also creating a situation where companies can afford to do these within the time that we give them to do it, then this program is not going to be successful. So it would be great to get a little bit more, number one, information on what the exact reasons were that the original companies that attended the proposal conference didn't bid, and then also like what, you know, go through and what were the critical issues that prevented the 4 that got kicked out, or the 3 that got kicked out? And then how can we work to adjust? You know, I know you said you tried and it didn't fly, but I mean, what substantively, what policies, what requirements can we be amending, right? As this board, as a policy-making body, what are the recommendations that you bring to this board for us to actually truly make this a community-level program, if that's something that we want to do as a department? And if not, what are the alternatives? And as you mentioned, you know, if they can go on a bench, if they can be on a sub list, you know, what are some alternative ways that we can actually get more participation? Because this didn't seem very successful. So that's.
I do agree with everything you say, Commissioner Chavez. And also, just to let you know, should we be able to reopen this for submissions and qualifications, we want to get more people. So each one that did not, I will personally reach out to them to find out maybe why they haven't submitted. Because again, we want to get as many as possible. Yes.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you for your report. Another means of actually educating some of these businesses might also be to cross-check against how many have maybe attended the boot camp that's offered by contract administration, so that they can actually be informed as to what the qualifications are, what they need to put in those applications, as well as signing up, in addition to signing up for RAMP, but kind of walk them through how to fill the applications out so that they can be more successful in the future.
Sure, and they did have that this last round, Commissioner Mitchell. There was a mediator that did work directly with them, including the insurances and bonding, et cetera. Again, we're going to have a strong aim we want to pull these people in as much as possible. So.
Thank you. Commissioners, I also had, before this item coming to board, I also had several meetings with you and the team. So appreciate the time that we spent talking about some of those lessons learned and the improvements. And I know one of the things is, I know you're going to reopen it up to those entities who first came to the session, but what I really wanted to do is reopen it up to the general public, but that is not allowed at the moment. So I think the commissioner would love to work with you and see how we can better approach these types of issues in the future, so that we have higher participation from many of our organizations in our city.
That would be great.
All right. So although we are only adding the 4 entities, the Bureau will reopen it and solicit additional application for this list. So with that, I will move to approve item number 9, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you, President Kang. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 9, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. Aye. All ayes, and item 9 is adopted, referred to Mayor and Council forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Kang and Commissioners. Thank you.
Moving on to our final item number 10 for all council district requests for authority, In Charge Energy, Inc.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Daniel Kim, and let me just adjust this real quick. My name is Daniel Kim. I'm the Administration Division Manager from Streets LA. The city's EV program was halted after the contract with Greenlots, which was later acquired by Shell, ended earlier this year. At the same time, Shell exited the EV business in North America, leaving them unable to fulfill the remaining purchase orders. This situation left our Bureau with approximately $600,000 in unfulfilled work under purchase order, including partial designs and no installations. The Mayor's office, led by the City Attorney, negotiated a single payment to Shell, requiring departments to pay a prorated amount for services completed. For a replacement, the mayor's office identified InCharge, a local Los Angeles-based company, as a near-term EV charging solution. To quickly onboard them, the city is piggybacking on a national cooperative agreement through Sourcewell. The contract has a term of 1 year plus 2 additional 1-year renewal options, totaling 3 years. The scope of work includes project management, design and configuration, installation and testing, training, system implementation support, warranty, and maintenance. In our discussion with the Bureau of Sanitation and Street Lighting, we identified approximately $8.2 million in MICLA funding for this type of work. But note that for this contract, the ceiling is set at $5 million, which is estimated to cover charging infrastructure upgrade at 8 city yards. This will be to support the transition of light and medium-duty city fleet vehicles assigned to these yards and will require approximately 100 level 2 and DC fast chargers. However, this is a projection, and the final scope and number of chargers will be determined once the vendor conducts a feasibility study. With that being said, my report is completed, and I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Just a quick question. Is the scope of the work similar to the previous contract with the other entity that basically was defunct?
Yeah, I would imagine so, but I'll go back and confirm that for you.
Okay, thank you very much. And then, Commissioners, any other questions or comments related to item number 10? All right, seeing none, is there a first and a second?
Second.
First by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by Vice President Chavez.
Thank you, President Kang. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 10, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. Aye. All ayes. Item 10 is adopted and referred to the mayor forthwith.
Thank you very much. Mr. Knight, does that conclude our items for today?
Yes, it does, President Kang.
Thank you. Our next meeting will be on Wednesday, November 19, 2025. The regular meeting is adjourned at 10:46 a.m., followed by our management meeting. Thank you.